Before you make a major decisions in your life, consult God first in prayer.
Daily Gospel Reflection with Father Jack. Friends, brothers and sisters, nothing can stop God's plan for your life. Reflect and be blessed.
Hallelujah. We praise you, O God. We acclaim you as Lord. The glorious company of apostles praise you. Hallelujah. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Jude. Jesus went out to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. And when day came, he called his disciples and chose 12 of them, whom he also named apostles. Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew, and James, and John, and Philip, and Bartholomew, and Matthew, and Thomas, and James, son of Alphaeus, and Simon, who was called the Zealot, and Judas, son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. Jesus came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea, Jerusalem, and the coast of Tyre and Sidon. These multitudes had come to hear him and to be healed of their diseases, and those who were troubled with unclean spirits were cured. And all in the crowd were trying to touch him, for power came out from him and healed all of them. The Gospel of the Lord. Good morning, my dear friends. Today, the church, remember, or we celebrate or we commemorate the feast of the two great saints. And they are also the members of the 12 apostles, Saint Simon the Zealot and Saint Jude, the patron saint of hopeless causes. That's why, if you are hopeless, Saint Jude is the right guy to ask for help. If you are hopeless, Saint Jude is the right person to ask for an intercession. What's the gospel message of today for us? It says here, Jesus went out to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. He spent the night in prayer to God. Before he chose the 12, he spent the night in prayer. And we are reminded again the importance of prayer life. It tells us the centrality of prayer in the life and the mission of Jesus. Before he chose the 12, he spent the night in prayer. For me, the message is very clear. My dear people of God, my dear parishioners, like Jesus, before you make a major decisions in your life, consult God first in prayer. Before you make a major decisions, before you sign any contract, before you apply for any job, before you go somewhere, consult God first in prayer. Because a day without prayer is a day without a blessing. And it's good to ask ourselves today, how much time do you spend with God? Jesus, before he chose the 12, he spent the night in prayer. What I'm trying to tell you, my dear parishioners, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, pray and then decide. Pray, then decide. The opposite doesn't work. Never decide without praying for it. Pray first, then decide. And you will not be frustrated. Second point. In our first reading, it tells us that we are being formed according to the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. I would like you to remember our basic foundation. Our basic foundation. We are formed, built together spiritually. And Jesus prayed the whole night because prayer is our basic and important foundation in life. Always remember your basic foundation, because when you know your foundation, you will not feel that you are like an alien or stranger. Why to pray? Because we are not aliens. Because we are not strangers. First reading, the letter of Paul to the Ephesians is very clear. We are citizens of heaven. We are citizens of heaven. And that is our basic foundation. And when you are citizen of heaven, that's where we go. We are members of the household of God. And reminds us every day of our citizenship. We are Canadians, Filipinos. That's only secondary, because the basic and the foundation is we are members of the household of God. You are not aliens. We are not strangers, but we belong to the same dwelling place. And finally, like the apostles, when Jesus, after he prayed, he came down and he stood at the 11th place. Then after that one, at the end of the gospel, he started his mission. He healed the diseases, those troubled with unclean spirit, and cured them. And people were trying to touch him because power came out from him. Why? Because the whole night he was engaged with God. And when we are engaged with the Lord, power of healing, heavenly favors will come out from us. We will be the source of healing. People who are troubled with unclean spirit will be healed. And like the apostles, we are sent and we are commissioned to bring healing, especially those who are troubled with unclean spirit. Nowadays, our world is troubled by unclean spirit. And how to be an effective minister? and healer? Go back to the basic. Connect in prayer and remember your foundation. I was thinking, and this is where I'm going to conclude. It says here, Jesus spent the whole night in prayer. The whole night in prayer. What does this statement tell us? Perhaps for some of us, if you have problem and trouble or difficulty in sleeping, okay? If you have problem with sleeping, if you cannot sleep the whole night, if you are like a roller coaster in your bed, with different positions, if you have difficulty to sleep and you cannot sleep, even if you close your eyes, you cannot sleep the whole night. Why not do the same what Jesus did? Spend the whole night in prayer. Engage in praying rather than complaining. Murmur to God. Open your mouth to God. Shout to God. Because the next day, what will happen? You will become the source of healing. That's why when the whole night, when you don't pray, the next day, you will be irritated. It will destroy your day. Chaos will come, will follow. But if you spend the whole night in prayer, if you cannot sleep, if you cannot sleep, I know some of us, we have trouble in sleeping, especially the seniors, the old people. They cannot sleep the whole night, I know. Sometimes we have only 1 hour of sleeping, 2 hours of sleeping. Today, the gospel is telling me and you, why not spend the night in prayer? Because when you do that, like Jesus, power will came out and we will be the source of healing. Today, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear people of God, connect to God in prayer. Remember your foundation. As we start our day, pray.